Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the resolution. Mr. Speaker, members of the General Assembly, I come to the floor and rise today because it is time to fill this important position. The time to act is now. Let's end the gamesmanship. Let's stop playing politics. Let's get down to the important work that we're all here to do. We've got 8 weeks ahead of us. A lot of work to do in that 8 weeks. Let's stop the games and get some important work done today. Let's all appoint someone that everyone here today, everyone that I've heard speak here today has said is exceptionally qualified. I think the time to act is now, to appoint an exceptionally qualified, honorable jurist of the federal bench to serve as our legislative inspector general. The time to act is now. And let's come together and appoint the Honorable Judge McCuskey to serve as our legislative inspector general. We have heard over and over today our colleagues on the other side of the aisle talk about process. But let's be clear how we got here. More than a month ago, our former legislative inspector general disclosed there was a complaint that needed to be pursued. That complaint is still pending because she subsequently announced that she would not start the investigation. For weeks, a complaint against someone in this body has been sitting there, unopened. And we want to take ethics seriously, right? We want to make sure that complaint gets investigated, properly addressed, because we care about ethics. That's why the time to act is now. Leaving that complaint unopened, uninvestigated, is plain unacceptable. We have watched over the last few weeks our friends on the other side of the aisle hold press conference after press conference, demanding that the position be filled. But only, I guess, if it's filled by a person that you all select. Someone that's handpicked, someone that clearly would be partisan. Because clearly, we all agree that this person is exceptionally qualified. That's what we did here today. We brought before you an exceptionally qualified person who wants this job, who will do a great job. No one has questioned his integrity. No one has questioned whether he would be independent. Every single person that has spoken here today has said what an honorable person Judge McCuskey is. Now today, our friends come here, the second part of the day, with quite a different tone. It's all about doing better and being better and working bipartisan. You want to work bipartisan? Start today by voting for this exceptionally qualified, honorable jurist to be our legislative inspector general. Let's not hide behind a process argument. We know what you mean by process. And you know that means slow everything down. Let's slow everything down and grind it to a halt, like some of you have said in the press, in those press conferences that you've been holding. Let's slow everything down, like we saw here today and yesterday, when we know it's committee deadline week, and we're here on the floor arguing about House rules that have been in place for 2 years, arguing about something as simple as putting on a mask to protect the health and well-being of everyone in this chamber. Why are we arguing about masks today? To slow everything down, to bring this place to a halt. Let's slow it down, even on something as monumentally important as filling the role of the Legislative Inspector General. Even if an exceptionally qualified jurist is brought before us. You heard it from Representative West. This impasse should have never happened. You can bemoan the process, even while you ignore your own side's culpability in that process, because you certainly can't stand up here and deny Judge McCuskey's qualifications. Every single person that spoke praised Judge McCuskey. He's an honorable man. Sadly, our best efforts for 4 months, the process has failed because, as you've said in the media, you want to bring it to a screeching halt. As you use our rules here every single time we've come here over the last 13 months to slow everything down, let's get to work. The time to act is now. The games stop today. If you want to vote down or vote present on an incredibly talented individual to fill this very critical role, be my guest. But know this, and the honorable lady from Macomb, I have so much respect for, but I highly disagree. Because a no vote or a present vote here today truly is the wrong vote. A no vote is a vote to leave the office of Legislative Inspector General vacant. A no vote is a vote against oversight. A no vote shows exactly where your party stands on ethics. Understand that. A no vote shows where you all stand on ethics. You should join us today and support ethics. Support an honorable jurist being our Legislative Inspector General. A no vote belies all of your talk, because the next time you get up in front of the press, all they need to do is look at your vote today to know whether you're serious about ethics or not. I'll be voting for an extremely qualified Legislative Inspector General here today. I'll be voting for someone who has been praised by Republicans and Democrats for his fairness, for his impartiality, and his integrity. I'll be voting for oversight and ethics. I hope you on the other side will join me and our colleagues as we put ethics first here today and put an end to these games. I urge us all to support the Honorable Judge McCuskey. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative West to close.